Hello story lovers, and welcome back to our channel. Tonight, we're going to journey into a world of sparkling lights and quiet wisdom. So, get comfy, snuggle up, and let's begin our story, called The Star That Got Lost. High, high above the world, in the deep, velvety blanket of the night sky, lived a tiny star named Twinkle. Twinkle wasn't the biggest or the brightest star, but it had the most cheerful shimmer. Every night, Twinkle would dance with its brothers and sisters, playing hide-and-seek behind fluffy clouds and winking at the sleeping world below. One evening while playing a particularly exciting game of tag with a passing comet, Twinkle got a little too adventurous. It zipped and zoomed faster and faster, giggling with delight. But in its excitement, Twinkle took a wrong turn, tumbled past the comet's tail, and began to fall. Down, down, down. It fell like a tiny, glittering teardrop. The familiar faces of the other stars grew smaller and smaller until they were just distant specks. The world below grew larger and larger. Twinkle closed its eyes, feeling scared and very, very alone. Whoosh, with a soft little thump, Twinkle landed not on a hard surface, but in something soft and green and smelling of sweet clover. Twinkle slowly opened one eye, then the other. It was in a meadow. Tall blades of grass tickled its points, and colorful wildflowers nodded gently in the breeze. Everything was so different, so big, and so dark. Without its family, Twinkle's own light felt small and weak. A single shimmering tear rolled down its side. "I'm lost," it whispered to a sleepy dandelion. "I'll never get home." Just as despair began to creep in, a tiny light flickered nearby. Then another, and another. Soon, Twinkle was surrounded by a swarm of gentle, glowing dots. They were fireflies. A particularly brave one with a bright, steady glow floated closer. "Hello there," it buzzed softly. "We've never seen a light quite like yours. Why are you so sad?" Twinkle explained how it had fallen from the sky and didn't know the way back. The fireflies listened patiently, their lights pulsing with sympathy. "The sky is a very big place," said the brave firefly, whose name was Flicker. "But we know someone who might be able to help. He knows all the secrets of the night. He's the old wise owl." The fireflies decided to guide Twinkle. "Follow us," Flicker chirped. Forming a living, glowing lantern all around the little star, they lifted off the ground and flew through the meadow. They floated over a babbling brook that sang a lullaby to the pebbles, and past sleeping bunnies tucked into their burrows. The world, which had seemed so scary just moments ago, now looked beautiful and peaceful, lit by the kindness of its new friends. Finally, they arrived at a large, ancient oak tree. Its branches reached up towards the sky like gnarled arms. Perched on one of the highest branches was a large owl, with feathers the color of twilight, and eyes like two golden moons. This was the old wise owl. "Hoo-hoo," he hooted, his voice deep and calm. "Flicker, my friend. What brings you in this unusual guest to my home so late?" Flicker explained Twinkle's predicament. The old wise owl blinked his large round eyes and looked thoughtfully at the little star. He saw the fear and sadness in its dimming light. "Falling is a frightening thing," the owl said gently. "But every journey, even one that begins with a fall, has a path. You are a star. Your home is up there, and your heart knows the way, even if you've forgotten." "But how?" asked Twinkle, its voice trembling. "It's so far, and I'm so small." The owl hooted a soft, reassuring laugh. "Your light is your guide, little one, but it has grown dim with sadness. To shine brightly enough to be seen by your family, you must remember what makes you a star. You must shine with happiness, with courage, and with hope." He then turned to the fireflies. "My little friends," he said, "your lights are born of the earth, and the star's light is born of the heavens. But tonight, your lights share the same purpose, to help a friend. Can you lend your glow?" The fireflies buzzed with excitement at the owl's signal. They gathered all around Twinkle. "Think of your home," Flicker whispered. "Think of dancing with your brothers and sisters." Twinkle closed its eyes and thought of the vast, beautiful sky. It remembered the feeling of soaring through space and the comforting glow of its family. As it remembered, a warmth spread through it. The fireflies, seeing this, began to pulse their lights in a steady, gentle rhythm. Their earthly glow merged with Twinkle's celestial light. Slowly at first, and then with more confidence, Twinkle began to shine brighter. The sadness was replaced by hope. The fear was replaced by courage. It shone with the memory of its home and the warmth of its new friends. It glowed brighter than it ever had before, a beacon of pure, brilliant light. "Now, little star," the old wise owl hooted, "shine, let your family see you. Twinkle poured all its energy, all its hope, and all its gratitude into its light. It beamed up into the darkness, a brilliant signal of love and longing. Far, far above, a cluster of stars noticed the unusually bright light shining from the world below. It was a familiar light, a beloved light. It was their twinkle. With a joyous shimmer, they shone their own lights down in a powerful, concentrated beam, creating a glittering pathway of starlight. There it is, the old wise owl said softly, your way home. Twinkle turned to the fireflies and the owl, its light pulsing with gratitude. Thank you, it said, its voice full of emotion. I was lost and scared, but you showed me kindness. I'll never forget you. We will look for your special sparkle in the sky, Flicker buzzed, his own light glowing proudly. With a final grateful shimmer towards its friends, Twinkle rose from the meadow, floated up, following the sparkling road of starlight. It was a long journey back, but this time Twinkle wasn't scared. It knew that even if it stumbled, there was kindness in the world to help it find its way. Finally, it rejoined its family, who swirled around it in a happy, shimmering dance. From that night on, Twinkle shone brighter than all the others. Not because it was the biggest, but because its light now carried the memory of the firefly's glow and the owl's wisdom. And sometimes, on a clear night, if you look very closely, you might see one star give an extra little wink down at the earth, saying hello to the friends who helped it find its way home. The story of Twinkle reminds us that sometimes we all feel a little lost or small. But, like the little star, we must remember that we are never truly alone. The kindness of friends, and the hope we hold inside our own hearts, can create a light bright enough to guide us through any darkness. Thank you so much for listening. I hope it brought a little sparkle to your evening. If you enjoyed our journey, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories. Until next time, keep shining brightly.